Hello, everybody. Joel Pal Brian.
It's February 2nd, and I wasn't going to do a vlog today, but why not? Wasn't going to fly today. It's going to take it easy. My wife is sleeping in. She had a long day yesterday. She behaved. In fact, most of the girls behaved. They didn't eat too much or drink too much. I was all happy about that. Yeah. Okay. Let's take this thing off, if it'll go. Oops, I'm on.
Throttle active.
So I've got it in the center position, not landing or taking off, but center position. And I've got the throttle wound up to the middle, a little before the middle. So it's not doing anything.
Take off.
Not now. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to try the middle position again.
Throttle active.
George goes at the nanny board. So let's try this again. I'm in the middle position. And it's the same as the up position.
Take off.
So it's either takeoff or landing. Yeah, this thing is lovely. I mean, lovely. Slipped out front because it's a little windy and I don't have control of these like I would like.
8.2 volts.
Voltage drop off a little quicker than what I like. But yeah, had a lovely day yesterday on the boat. Got to play catch up with my buddies. I am reticent to discuss this with you, but it is interesting. In my group, I'm an armchair anthropologist. That is, I love the human nature and understanding how we do stuff and what we do and our similarities and dissimilarities. And so there's one guy in the group who married a girl about 12 years his junior, and he's exactly my age.
8.1 volts.
And we were at his wedding. He I'm just gonna say it. So the gal that he married is physically one of the most beautiful women that we know personally, all of us. And we all agree she's just lovely. And the person that we know, her, not intimately, but on a day-to-day basis, she's just sweet as pie. But him and his wife have contention, and he's an army guy and disciplined, and she's a beautiful hippie, just a quintessential hippie. Hey dude, dude this, dude that, the Vans, shoes, that whole hippie lifestyle. Well, she wanted to get started up in a business, and so he dropped about 30-something K, and turns out she is a lazy hippie and doesn't get up in the morning, and 2 years later tossed 30 grand out the window. And his complaint is she doesn't want to talk about it at all. Gets mad. Isn't owning up to her frailties. And he says it's not a deal breaker. He still loves her, but man, it's just maddening for him. And the most interesting thing he had acknowledged was, he says, when you marry an exquisitely beautiful woman, it appears that everything comes with a cost. And yeah, he's right. You know, and I don't want this to come out odd, but like, you know, my wife isn't quite the classic beauty of his wife, but my wife is 10 times more beautiful. Because she owns up to her errors, and she's, yeah. So it was interesting to sit there and listen to him, and he thanked me for being able to vent about how disappointed. He said, in the end, I'm just disappointed in her. And I'm like, yeah, you know, physical beauty is amazing. It really is. but it fades. And this gal now, she's closer to 50 than she is to 40, and nothing, I don't know if this is going to translate, nothing boinks you like Father Time. That's actually a bastardization of a line from the TV show the TV show Game of Thrones. And Sir Davos, I think, was the character's name, and his observation was, there's nothing F's you like Father Time. And he's right. Yeah, when you're young and beautiful and you have this thing hanging off your arm, you're like, oh, yeah, it's the best. But if it doesn't have all the makings of an adult and adult decisions, then all of a sudden when that beauty fades, everything else does too. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, she was so exquisitely beautiful that he says, this is years ago he's telling me this, he says, you know, you can't even go to a bar. He says, men will just hit on her right in front of you. This is interesting. The stabilization is actually working. It's bright enough. Well, that is a big, beautiful civilian aircraft in the background. Oh, now has it loosened up? Anyway, pretty cool. Yeah, this is my favorite overall, but my second favorite is the Bell 206, and the reason being is because you can fling that thing around, and for 47 bucks you don't care.
7.6 volts.
So yeah, one of my running jokes is I'll never be burdened with beauty or wealth. I mean, it is just so foreign to me what it would be like to be a beautiful girl. That just people just treat you weird all the time, and you can tell with her that she's an introvert. That she doesn't like being, you know, she likes being beautiful, but she doesn't like being treated oddly. But that was an interesting day listening to the trappings of a fellow that married an exquisitely beautiful girl, 12 years his junior.
Low battery, throttle hold, 7.5 volts.
So there's literally thousands upon thousands of bodies of water in Florida.
Low battery.
And in the middle of the state, we have a beautiful chain of lakes near us called the Harris Chain of Lakes, about 4 miles from the house. And
low battery.
You can put
Telemetry lost.
in the middle of the state and go out to sea, and that's always fascinated me. We have a system of locks and that sort of thing that allow you to do that. I did build a header for my batteries, Dale, and I was able to check my MD500 battery, which was wild. It was, I think, what did it do? 3.9%? Anyway, it seemed to be low. I think you had expressed
Switch warning. Flight mode 3.
that same observation. So they may be coming in lower than what you should when you let it blink. I typically don't, because to be honest with you, it's kind of after a bit of flying, you're like, man, I've been flying for a while and I'd rather not be flying anymore. So anyway, we went out on the Chain of Lakes yesterday. My friends have these beautiful, very, very expensive pontoon boats that are such that it's like riding around in your living room. Swear to God, couches are just so comfortable, and the ride is comfortable, and everybody loves a pontoon boat. In fact,
Throttle active.
there's a couple of country songs that speak about the virtues of pontoon boats, which I always find humorous. But yeah, it's like riding around in your living room. Only thing missing is a fireplace. Ooh, it's a little windy. Yeah, pretty cool. Is it John H.V.? what's his name? Sisson's got a nice yaw as well. That was pretty cool watching John VH John let his kid fly one of these. Just amazing. When you're young, you're just not scared of. I tell you what, I think my canopy needs to be snapped on better. When you're young, you have two amazing things going for you. One, you have the hand-eye coordination of it's just amazing.
Throttle hold.
The other thing is since you don't pay for anything, you're not concerned at all about the loss. I mean, for the most part, loss of the airship, the airframe. So, drilling it because you made a mistake
Throttle active.
of being a little too ambitious flying doesn't bother you because you ain't paying for nothing. So I watched this with helicopters out there at the flying club. Those young men, they got out there with their moms, and I mean, you're talking about flying a helicopter that's worth a couple of $1,000s. They ain't worried about drilling that thing at all. Well, I'd look better with skid lights. I am not going to attack that project. Yeah, it banks a little bit, even with the nanny board. Yeah, my friend from Texas, McMoyer. I couldn't see. McMoyer had commented that he said he noticed that I was flying a lot more rotorcraft than fixed wing, and he says he didn't connect the dots
9 minutes.
between my damaged vision and why I'm flying things nice and close to me. Ooh, just took a lick from the wind. I heard that tail rotor. It did not like you. Yeah, as I've mentioned, I was told that my vision was failing due to idiopathic. That means they don't know what the hell it is, or why it is, not what it is, but why it is. And the idiopathic cataracts. And the reason I discuss this, it's actually kind of interesting. I mean, it's the aging process. If you're lucky enough, you get to get old. And if there's one thing I learned here in Florida, man, is that you're going to spend about a third of your life being old, and you want to be in good repair. So every year I go to the eye doctor, and they'd bump my prescription, and they say, hey, listen, you've got cataracts, and right now they're not a problem, but they're going to get worse. Well, when? We don't know. So last year they had said, yeah, it's coming. Basically, the train's coming. And I said, well, when? We don't know. I said, well, I'd like to get those cataracts fixed sooner rather than later because I have a disease process that's ruining my circulatory system, and I want to be able to heal quicker. So my thought is that if you can get a handle on these cataracts earlier rather than later, then I'm more likely to have a better healing outcome. You see? Couldn't answer it. So this year when I showed up, my doctor had retired, and I ended up with another doctor, a cute little Polish lady, young, and I told her right off the bat, I said, I understand that I have cataracts and that they're getting worse. And she said, well, let's have a look at your eyes. And she tried to correct my vision, and she goes, we can't correct your vision anymore. Let's have a look at what's going on here. And she looked in the eyes, and she goes, oh, you have cataracts. I said, yeah, I told you that. She goes, yeah, but I didn't think, because I'm young, comparatively. Generally, it's people that are well into their 60s, and I'm 60, fixing to be 61 in a few days. As such, she was surprised and said, yeah, I can't do anything for you anymore. We're going to have to let you talk to the big doctor. And the big doctor has done 50,000 of these procedures. 50,000. He's an innovator, and they have him do new procedures and different procedures because he's so good at what he does. I liken that kind of thing to the hand of God, and even if they don't know it, just the doctor's a hand of God. I know it looks like it's going to rain today, and there may be some passing showers, but it's just going to be overcast. We have a front that came through, and it's lingering, and actually it backed up. Wind's picking up, so I might be done. I don't know if the bell tolerates the wind like this one, so I might just save it for another time. But yeah, without boring you people to death, they they use a laser to cut a hole in your eye. That way it's a sweet, clean cut, and you're not using a scalpel, which, by the way, is still an option. They still use scalpels. And you have 3 options. I think I've mentioned the 5-year plan that'll get your distance back and make you see like you were when you were a kid. The middle plan lets you see intermediate. And then the Mac Daddy plan of allowing you to see close, middle, and far away. And I'm the only guy I know in my group that got that one. It's about the cost of a used car, above what insurance pays. We have insurance here. So you buy your own health insurance. So imagine my joy that I can see like I did when I was well, it would have been better than I'm a kid, because my eyes were bad. Both of them had astigmatism. Both eyes were out of round. You know, I came that way. So I actually see better than I've ever seen.
4 minutes.
With no corrective lenses. Isn't that cool? I mean, it's just cool. I can't wait for the total healing. I'd like to go out to my flying club next week. In fact, I may. We go out and test out, total healing. I'm actually going to take my, when I can, I'm going to take my OG Timber out there and give it a fly, because I need to see if that thing's going to tolerate me being in Presque Isle, Maine for 5 months, flying it 3 days a week or whatever, 3 or 4 days a week. I got to figure that one out. Yeah, it's really responsive. I like that. We might fly the bell in the wind just to exercise it. In fact, let's do that. That thing is so cool. It really is. So yesterday's lunch out on the water consisted of protein in the form of shrimp. Yeah, it's a little windy, so we want to be easy on this thing. Yeah. Man, you just can't land you can't really spot land these things with any great ease. I don't like that at all. I'll tell you what I do like. I like this light plastic that you can, damn near see rivets. Well, let's do some shout outs. Of course, Dale, just a joy talking with you. I hope Snowmageddon passes. McMoyer, fun visiting with you, and I'm glad you're partaking in our visits together. Who will probably not see this. He commented on my ability to fly my Twisted Hobbies 540 in this space right here, which is actually a lot of space. He's very kind to me. Hold on now. Where's my battery? Oh, I think I plugged it in. Who else? Virginia Bareback Boy, Ox, Ed, Tahoe Ed, had really the joy of hanging out with him in Tahoe years ago. He actually gave us a ride in his Subaru back to our hotel.
Throttle warning, switch warning, flight mode.
Actually, it was a condo we rented out there. We got to spend the day with him, and he was so nice. God almighty.
Binding.
I just don't know. Sometimes we gotta get wrapped up in the personality of the interwebs without understanding that sometimes the guy behind the keyboard is significantly different than the guy that you meet in real life. Ed's a great guy. What mode am I in?
Middle rates, low rates, high rates,
Oops.
low rates,
I think that's high rates.
middle rates, low rates,
Okay, that is low
high
rates.
rates.
You want to be in high rates. So AMRC, I'm really sorry that you're having trouble with this thing. What a hassle. Yeah, there's something busted. There again, these are just one step, in my opinion, one step above toy grade. And what makes them otherwise is availability for parts.
6 minutes.
And you'll recall these are early days of this tech. They're just early. So what I'd like to see is the V2 generations. Hey, how are you? The V2 of these things, and yeah, somebody had mentioned that for $47 you're just not going to have 12 quality control agents. In fact, I feel that way about RC in general. If you're thinking that yeah, this is hobby grade stuff, toy grade stuff that's not quite prosumer. And both of mine were just fine. The only problem I ran into is that they were wrong. One of the things that they had touted the virtues of is when you stall the main blades or whatever, it won't burn it up. Well, that's not true. It burnt mine right up. And actually, I think I ended up with a second board because I bought another board for this thing. Yeah, you got a little wind. You don't quite have the authority that you would like. So I have two boards for these things. Yeah, I bought two $10 boards. I love this thing. What else? What else? Yeah, that was funny watching AMRC fly his because he flew that damn thing probably 100 feet. I'm like, I didn't know it could go that high. Isn't that thing lovely? I mean, it just looks real, and it's about a 200 or 250 size from my old days in collective pitch,
4 minutes.
I have not been bored enough to put that light kit in that second one. George has figured out there's some guy that, because George was talking about it, it ended up on my phone, or because I was talking about it with George via text. The guy pops up that sells these light kits. Yeah, the battery thing may be a little, when they hit LVC and they start blinking, that's supposed to be your deal to set them down. I think that may be a little low on these batteries. So definitely a timer is your friend.
3 minutes.
I got this set for 7 minutes, and I really need to go ahead and bump it down to 6. Probably the same thing with the other one, since I have plenty of batteries. But particularly with the MD500, because you can fly that thing for like 10 minutes. I mean, it's just, I say 10 minutes, like 14 minutes. I need to knock that thing down to probably about 7 or 8 minutes, and that's about the length of my blather on one flight. I'm no longer, actually what I ended up doing is getting careless. I want to start slinging the thing around, Yeah, the MD500 is the most menacing sounding out of the, well, no, that's not true. When you wind up that Huey, thing starts to give me the creeps. And it's because I don't have that much control over it. It's unnerving to me.
2 minutes.
Isn't that thing amazing? I mean, it's just amazing. Let's stay away from Mr. Tree. All right, well, that was it. Had a blast yesterday with my friends. We hadn't really seen them all since Thanksgiving, and there's about 20 of us. And just had a blast. Every personality was lovely yesterday. Even, you know, some of them aren't that lovely in general, but they were yesterday. Everybody was really kind of cool. One of my buddies slipped and hurt his knee getting out of the boat, and he may be going down to the orthopod tomorrow. He's one of them lovely personalities that hadn't been quite taking care of himself and won't. And you can't say a word because people will not take it right. So hopefully this event will cause him to get that joint looked at. That's bad. Yeah, these things are neat. Fun talking with Gretchen and Cynthia. Really neat. They speak in candor, and I like that. I've also kind of been enjoying the same thing they have, is the understanding another language, or at least having some functionality. And it's funny because some of their language translates quite nicely to my abilities to understand.
Throttle hold.
Guys, I wish you all the very, very best, and hopefully wherever you're at,